He said, there's something different about you, your energy, very different. I was like, okay. He goes, your energy. I was like, so what do you do? What do you do like in life? And he put his fist out like this to fist bump me. And I fist bumped him, and he got up and he walked away. I was like, a lot of times when I'm just going through life, I would just go wherever the spirit takes me. A lot of times I don't know where that is and where it's going to take me. I don't analyze, I don't overanalyze things. I just kind of am guided. I allow myself to be guided by the spirit, by what people will call God, the higher consciousness, the higher self. I try to stay in touch with that, so I'm guided by that. Instead of trying to figure out everything on my own with my limited mind, I try to allow the higher mind to guide me, the spirit to guide me. So yesterday, I was in one of those sort of situations where I was just guided to go to a certain place. And this doesn't happen through like verbal thoughts that communicate like go here, go there. No, it just kind of, it's more of an intuitive thing. I'm just drawn here, drawn there, naturally. I meet people like this all the time, like I did yesterday. I'll see somebody, maybe they're sitting by themselves, and I'll just walk up to them, say, hey, how are you doing? And we'll have an hour conversation. I've had this happen many times. One time I walked up to a guy, and his mom was dying. And she was in a hospital, and he came down to the lake here, kind of where I'm at right now, just to sit and to purge and to cry and to let his energy out and allow himself to feel what he was going through. And I talked to him and I helped him, and it was beautiful. I was just drawn to him. I had no intention of helping anybody or doing this or doing that or even coming to this spot. I was just drawn here. And yesterday something similar happened, but it was somebody came up to me, which was different because usually I'm coming up to people. So yesterday I went to the pier. We're here at Lake Erie right now. I went to a long pier, and I sat down to sort of just meditate and watch the sunset. The sun had just went down. The whole sky was orange. It was really beautiful. And the guy was there. This guy that ended up coming up to me, he was there. And as I was sitting, the bugs were landing on me, and it was a little irritating, you know, just having dozens of little bugs land on you. So as I'm sitting there and contemplating whether or not I want to get up, I decided, you know, I'm going to get up and move to a new spot. So I get up, I move to a new spot, and as soon as I move to a new spot, this guy walks up to me. He says, hey, you speak Spanish? I was like, no, unfortunately I don't. I am Puerto Rican too. My ethnicity is Puerto Rican, but I don't speak Spanish, unfortunately. But this is what he asked me. I said, no, I don't speak Spanish. So he's like, oh, okay. And he spoke a little bit of English, enough to communicate with me. And he sat down. He's like, so he's like, why did you move from there to here? And I was like, well, because the bugs were on me. And he was just asking a bunch of questions. And like, I ended up telling him what I do. I was like, yeah, I teach meditation. I teach, I help people evolve spiritually, mentally. And he was like, okay, can you teach me something? I was like, yeah, I could teach you something, something really simple, right? So I had him sit down and do what's called breath watching meditation. So what you basically do is you sit, you open up your hands like this on your knees, you sit in a cross-legged position, and then you just watch your breath. You consciously focus on the in-breath, the out-breath, and that's all you do, because it's taking your attention off of the thoughts and putting your attention onto the breath. So he's sitting there, he's doing the practice, and then a few minutes go by, we get into another conversation about something, and he's like, I have to tell you something. I was like, okay. And he sat there for like 2 minutes and he didn't tell me. I was like, are you gonna tell me? And he's just sitting there like, okay. I was like, I told him, I was like, I'm the least judgmental person you know. Like, you don't have to worry about me judging you. You can tell me whatever you want. And then like 30 seconds goes by and he tells me, he said, there's something different about you, your energy, very different. I was like, okay. He goes, your energy, you're different, and whatever you have in your mind, he says, it is already yours. He says, in time, it will become yours in the real world. But he says, what you have in your mind is already yours. And at the time, I was thinking, like previously, just going there in the first place, I was thinking about some things on how to improve my program, how to improve this and that. And he said, just keep doing what you're doing. Other people will try to sway you. They will try to sway you and knock you off the path. He said, you stay on the path. You're here to help a lot of people. And like me personally, I already know this, like deep within, I know this. I speak my affirmation. I speak my goals every day. Like I know that I'm here to help millions of people. But he just like confirmed that for me. Like a lot of times when we're seeking advice, we ask somebody else, but we already know the answer within. But we still ask somebody else. But this was really interesting for me because usually I'm the one that's going up and talking to random people and helping them. But he kind of came up to me and felt something like maybe I needed to hear that message. So he told me that, and he said, keep your faith and trust and keep believing. And I was like, thank you. Like I felt it in my spirit that he was like very genuine with what he was saying. And then I was like, so what do you do? What do you do like in life? And he put his fist out like this to fist bump me. And I fist bumped him and he got up and he walked away. I was like, man, like he didn't want to answer any of my questions, but he just wanted to give me that message, which was really interesting. And like right now, like I allowed the spirit to guide me to go to the pier that night, and he was there, and it just happened just like that, the synchronicity.